Hi, my name is Rachel Burdyshaw, and our source was by Bartolomé de las Casas. It is entitled A Short Account of the Destruction of the Indies. It was written in 1542, but actually published in 1552. It contains a letter to King Charles of Spain from Bishop de las Casas. He wrote about the conquistadors' treatment of the Indians in the West Indies, specifically in Haiti, or as was then known, Hispaniola. He talks about the tortures that they endured at the hands of the conquistadors and is very, very graphic in his depiction of it. De las Casas was actually known for his uncompromising morality, much like other Spanish bishops were in that area. They were dealing with a huge problem there because the conquistadors and adventurers decided that since they were so far from Spain and the homeland, that the king actually had no authority over them, so they didn't have to do anything that they said. The church had more authority, but not much. The only weapon they really had was the spiritual weapon of excommunication, because the conquistadors, I guess, if they had a heart, would actually be scared of that. The king, try as he might, issued edicts and orders against enslavement, theft, and mistreating the natives, but it was to no avail. Nobody was there enforcing his laws, so they just went ignored. Originally, Casas actually used Indians for his own gain. He was one of the ones who would exploit them. It wasn't until 1514 that he actually adopted the views written in this letter. He actually had a friend who was a Dominican who taught him that Indians are men with souls and thus should be treated as your equal.
Hi, I'm Savannah Rains, and the purpose of our document was basically just a cry for help given to King Charles in a letter. It was saying that they just need better enforcement, or the king needed to come down himself and enforce the law or come up with some type of punishment. It gave the king a more honest description of what was actually happening, because whoever was reporting back to him was not telling him everything or the honest truth of what was actually happening to the natives. Something you can kind of take away from this is like how much destruction the conquistadors actually left in their wake. They used a lot of different styles of torture on the innocents that were very brutal and just not something you would think to see or know of now. There were ministers who actually tried to teach Christianity, but it failed due to the Spaniards' actions. And a lot of people were like, if this is what Christianity is, I don't want any part of it. They even said that like hell would even be better than this, if that's how Christians were supposed to be. You can kind of relate this to things that are happening in the Middle East right now with ISIS, and it might be different types of torture, but it's still people taking God's word and twisting it to fit how they want and get the outcome that they want from it.